Ron Scott here. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to jazz up your text by adding some texture to it. First, we start a new project. Select the Media Generator tab and drag a text preset onto the timeline. Change the text to Video Title and the font to Franklin Gothic Heavy. Next, we add a background by dropping an image onto the timeline below the text. Click the Event Pan Crop icon in the text event so we can animate the text. Move the timeline cursor to near the end of the position track and then drag the marquee smaller to zoom in on the text. Here is what our animation looks like. Now we add a texture to the text. First, insert a video track between the text track and the background track, and drag a texture file onto the track. We need to do two things to make the texture appear in the text. First, we make the texture track a compositing child of the track above it. Second, change the compositing mode of the text track to Multiply Mask. Let's look at the result. The texture appears inside the text but does not look like it's mapped onto the text, but as if the text were a window on the texture. We can fix that using some simple math. In the Event Pan Crop dialog for the text event, make sure you are on the first keyframe, and right-click the width value and select Copy from the pop-up menu. Open the Windows Calculator app and paste the value just copied. Move the timeline cursor in the Event Pan Crop dialog to the last keyframe and copy the width value. Back in Calculator, click the Divide button, paste the value copied, and then click the Equals button. Click the MS button to save the value, which is a ratio we will use to set the zoom of the texture to match that of the text. Click the Event Pan Crop icon in the Texture event on Track 2 to open its Event Pan Crop dialog. Drag the corner of the marquee to get the desired portion of the texture to appear in the text. Right-click on the width value and select Copy from the pop-up menu. Back in Calculator, click the Multiply button, paste the value copied, and then click the Equals button. Copy the result and go back to the Event Pan Crop dialog for the texture event, and move the timeline cursor to the first keyframe, and paste the value copied into the width value. Also, throughout this tutorial, it's important that the Lock Aspect Ratio button is selected. A final tip: if you move the texture marquee off-center when selecting the texture region, be sure to copy the keyframe and paste it on the first keyframe so the centers match before pasting in the calculated width value. Now the zoom for the texture and the text match. I'm Ron Scott, and if you found this tutorial useful, please like and share.